Luxury is defined by a sense of freedom. It's the ability to do what you want to do and where you want to do and how you want to do.
It's about having a spaciousness in your mind, uncluttered thoughts, which results in uncluttered spaces.
But it's also very important parallelly that how is that space embellished, how is the space being designed or visualized, which can also lead to whether it finally looks luxurious or otherwise.
So when you start looking luxury from a very different lens and not from the lens of, am I ticking the boxes of the most expensive materials or the latest materials, but a layered perspective on luxury. Quiet luxury is the way I would kind of define it for today's day, not something that screams and shouts.
Biophilic design is something that has come about in recent times where architects have become a lot more conscious about the environment.
Which is including everything which we want, that is natural light, connect with nature. It's a state of well-being, right? And a state of well-being begins with being mindful. So it's very critical that you have that kind of a perspective. At the same time, you embrace technology because the world is fast and it's changing. So technology is here to stay.
One has to be very conscious about using it. You can use it from a perspective where the human element is not getting sacrificed. And I think anything that we do with smart technology eventually should be beneficial to the person using it or to the project that it is being incorporated into.
Both of them are here to stay, and they are, I would call, as the fulcrum of design right now. Recently, we've done a project for the Zydus guest house, and what we landed up doing is to use a screen, what we call as a brise soleil in French. It's a Jaffrey, and that Jaffrey helps to kind of control the amount of light quality that comes from the west and the southwest into the bedroom. So it's controlling that. It's bringing efficiency into the aircon systems. Now, balanced with that, we look at the biophilic design and the infusion of greens, because greens need natural light. They need a certain amount of sunlight coming in. We are living in a tropical climate. We are blessed with the most beautiful sun. We just need to make sure that we are enjoying it in shade. Otherwise it gets extremely harsh, but it's right there and we should use as much as possible.
Prime objective of doing a second home is for a client to move out of the city and get closer to the outdoors, where you respect your time, you respect your space, you have a sense of privacy, but you feel you're in the outdoors. So Casa Feliz is a project that we did a couple of years back in Alibag for a private client. So interestingly, this project has been located on a plot of land which was blessed with a lot of existing trees. I think our biggest challenge was where we would locate the house. We managed to retain more than 90% of the trees. There's a beautiful central courtyard around which the house has been organized. So you may be transitioning spaces, but at the same time, you're constantly aware of nature that is moving along with you. And I think that's the beauty of the project. We like to still bring in a certain aspect of smart technology, just so that things can be done remotely if required. You don't probably need that many people for the project to be run like a well-oiled machine. When clients come to us, I think the biggest challenge is first to understand what is their definition of luxury.
Every week there are new materials, there is new trends, there is something which is the latest, and you have to actually consciously and mindfully steer away from that, because the intention of luxury is to seduce you.
Give them a better understanding of what we believe is luxury, and then trying to find at the end of a project what I like to call as the common ground.
Luxury, which is superficial or fluff or veneering of materials, it doesn't last long.
So the success of a project largely depends on this marriage. We surely like to dot the I's and cross the T's, as they say. In any architectural practice, I think gestation is going to be key.
You cannot be running a 100-meter sprint here. It's a marathon race.
For all freshers out there, I think patience is something we all need to develop intrinsically as part of our personalities.
There is a lot of noise out there in the market, and in the echo and the reverberation, if you don't stand out, you're going to get diluted.
You have to be a great listener because it does not work without that. If you're in the service industry,
as long as you're taking the learnings of one project into the other project and maturing your own craft,
it's very important to really live in the moment, enjoy the moment as you are in it today, and I think the future will take care of itself.
It's very gratifying to see your work over the last 2 decades being recognized.
It gives us that much more confidence, and it makes us want to work even harder.
When brands like Kohler and Forbes India, which are in that sense pinnacle in their own respective genres, recognize you, I think it's humbling.
And most importantly, we look forward to be a better version of ourselves moving forward.